This is KOMU 8 News at 6.
5 months after the tragic shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary, the country continues to debate gun violence. Good evening, I'm Brittany Pieper.
And I'm Jim Ray. Thanks for joining us. Already this year, more people have been killed in Kansas City and St. Louis than the total killed at Sandy Hook. KOMU 8's Garrett Bergquist has researched these numbers and joins us here in the studio with the details. Garrett?
Jim and Brittany, Highway Patrol statistics show more people have been murdered across Missouri already this year than were killed in some of the worst mass shootings in American history. Admittedly, a mass shooting is a horrific event, but in the first of a three-part series, we'll look at the slow-motion reality of Missouri gun violence and some statistics that hit very close to home.
It seems to be that all of them are still on lockdown inside that school.
It must be such an awful thing for these parents.
The news stunned a nation. 20 small children and 6 teachers gunned down at an elementary school in Connecticut. As tragic as the Sandy Hook shooting was, more people die on Missouri's streets every year. Last year, 125 people were killed in St. Louis. That's more than were killed in the shootings at Sandy Hook, Aurora, Colorado, and Virginia Tech combined. Since January 1st, 32 people have been murdered in St. Louis alone, surpassing the toll at Sandy Hook. Another 20 have died in Kansas City, and the overwhelming majority of victims are black. According to the Violence Policy Center, Missouri led the nation in black homicides between 2008 and 2010, the last year for which complete data are available.
Missouri has 2 large cities that are racially diverse, that contain large poverty populations, primarily African American. And those are the conditions that tend to accompany high levels of violence and firearm violence, homicides specifically.
The numbers here in Columbia aren't quite as grim, but the same patterns present themselves. At least 10 Columbians have been murdered since 2010. 8 of them were black men. And this violence hurts family life and neighborhood life.
It affects it a lot because people, they don't want to go out and enjoy life anymore. Activities that we do have in the Kansas City community, nightlife, the numbers are down compared to past years because people are afraid to lose their life.
Anti-violence activists say the risk of gun violence makes people buy guns to protect themselves, which leads to more violence.
When you have everyone, and not just felons, but regular civilians as you and I having weapons on them, that will cause them to, their mind state, their mind frame changes. It goes from the state of protection to now I am superior with this weapon on me.
And for Ray, all of this hits very close to home. His sister was murdered 13 years ago.
It was a boyfriend that she was dating. She wanted to end the relationship and he didn't want to, so he decided to kill her. And killed her at Swope Park, which is a familiar park in the Kansas City area. Left her body there for dead. She was found by a bystander.
Coming up tomorrow night at 6, we'll look at some of the factors that contribute to the numbers you just saw.